we know that Pitra Paksha is running these 15 days, right? So anybody know the background of Pitra Paksha mythological story? Okay, so basically what happened, Karna, when he passed away, he went to the level where the Pitru place is there. Before you move into the higher layers, there is a place where you are supposed to spend some time, retrospect your life. That part is called Pitrulok. Okay, so he goes there, though he's been, he's done so many dan, everything in his life, he's so much more, but then he wouldn't get water or food in that lok. So he wonders why I have done so much, why I'm not given. Then he asks around and he asks Yama, like, why it is like this. And he says that's because you never gave food to your ancestors while you were in your body. Okay. So he says, I didn't know who are my ancestors because Kunti gave birth before she was married and she was, put in the water and he was taken by a fisherman. And then, how he goes to Duryodhana's side and all that happens. So he says, I didn't know anything about who were my ancestors, so I never did. So he says, now I want to do, can you send me back in my body, same body? So I do that and come back. Because if I had known, I would have definitely done. So Yama says that, but if you go there, everybody will call you back to their kingdom and you'll also feel, so you don't want to come back. He says, no, I am done with all that. Now I want to just do this one little incompletion, which I have not done. And I want to move on to the higher levels peacefully. I don't want to be born again because of this one incompletion. So then he sends him, and he, in a very remote place where nobody would recognize him, he finishes that, giving the pindadana, whatever the thing. And then he goes back where he will be fed with water, food, everything. And then he moves on. So then onwards, whether whatever caste or religion you are belong to, and if you know your parents or not, you can do this during this 15 days time. Just to honor what option was given to Karna, same option can be given to everybody. That's what it means. So even you know about it, you don't know the ritual, you don't know any damn thing, you can still do in your own way during these 15 days time. Okay, that's about the ancestral healing. So we just thought that we will have it in a different way using the radical. Now how it is different? Dipti, can you tell me how I can use the board, whiteboard? Okay, I got it.
Go to share screen.
Yeah, I got it. So you can all see this, right? Whiteboard, you can all see. Okay, good. So let me write this thing. You see this? This is like looking like a cloud. Okay. This I will write it as higher self. What is higher self? This is the collective, not exactly collective. This is your soul space. Atma. It's a huge space. It's an infinite space, but it's only you. Okay. It is not everybody's. This is not collective consciousness at all. This is your own soul. Okay. Now what happens is, there is this, sorry, my straight line is so weird. Please think it like a straight line, okay? And this is, let us assume, a layer between the earth realm and the higher self. Okay? And here we are, this is our 3D. Human being. Okay? Now what happens is, here we live, we have a linear timeline. You are born, you're old, you're going to die. This is a linear timeline. Here on the above, there is no linear timeline. Okay, there is no existing of time. That means everything is here and now. Okay. Now this person, what do you want to call this person? Let us call this person as, I'm not getting any name.
Rahul. Generally, most popular name.
I hope there is no Rahul here.
No, there is no guy in this group today. So
Okay. So this is Rahul, okay? Now Rahul is living here and all that, and Rahul, everybody hates Rahul so much and he feels very neglected. He feels nobody loves me, etc. So there is so much of sadness and unhappy feeling. And, I go workplace, nobody likes me. My wife doesn't like me. Of course, if he's married, my parents don't like me. My siblings don't like me. Everybody hates me. I think I am not good looking. I don't get any girl, all these kind of things he has. Okay. And when he dies, what happens is, before his soul, because this is one bit of the soul part, a soul fragment of this big higher self. Okay. So there can be another person also, you can call him Ram or whatever, Lakshman or something like that. This guy also could be from the same soul part. Or he can be of some other different soul part also. Okay. So it can be from the same higher self, both of them might have come at a different timeline. And he may be in India, this guy may be in US. He may be called as Michael then, probably. Okay, but they can be of the same higher self. Or he can be of the different higher self also. Now what happens is, when Rahul is undergoing all this kind of thing, and the time comes and he dies. When he's dying, he will submit all those emotions to this layer, and then he goes up. This soul goes and reaches back to its higher self. Okay. Now he submits all of those emotions to this layer. This layer is all the emotions are submitted. So this is the path which will take maybe 13 days of your time or whatever we do, no? 73 hours or 42 days. There are quite a few days which are there in our mythology, or your experience or a psychic person can tell you. So quite a few things are there. Let's not get into the numbers. So it goes and reaches. Okay. Now, in a way, heaven and hell is that. The difference is that heaven and hell are same place, but the path you take defines whether it's heaven or hell. Okay. So you can call the two-layer line which I have written can be hell, because there is a lot of emotions there which are submitted by thousands of people. And you will have to undergo that. We have to retrospect what I did was right or wrong, and take decisions and everything, and then reach your higher self. Or you may take a U-turn here only and you can be born. It's all your choice. When you do that, that person who takes U-turn and be born, practically their life continues. Because there are a lot of incompletions here and they don't retrospect. So when they're born again, they feel it is the continuation. Okay. So many people who commit suicide, it's practically they come back here because they have not finished their life. Okay. So this is basically the soul journey, going up part I told you. Now let us see, when you're being born, what happens. Here in the life higher self, you will make a life purpose, or you make a life plan. Now, what is that life plan? Life plan is not, I will earn 1 crore, I will become a doctor. No, this is not life plan. Life plan is, I need to learn to love myself. I need to be brave. I need to support myself. I need to take initiatives. Okay. Or in the last life, I could not experience how to take care of my mother. So this time I would learn to take care of my people around me. Or last incarnation, I was a woman and I want to experience how it to be a man. So there are so many such things which are part of the life plan. Okay, so the life plan is done at the higher self level. And when the time comes to be born, it has to pass through this layer. At that time, when it is about to pass through this layer, they will have to pick up a theme from here. Some theme from here, they will have to pick up. Assume that this is a huge library of records. Akashic records are all part of this. Okay, so a huge library of records. So when you're coming here, you will search here. Which record is going to help me to learn self-love? Then this Rahul has left here that nobody loves me. Okay, so you pick up Rahul's record. And there is one more person who is Sita, who had to stand for herself bravely. And everybody abused her. But she couldn't stand for herself. That was her incompletion. So I need to learn to be brave. Okay, then I will pick up Sita also. I picked up Sita's record also. And I picked up Rahul's record also. So I picked up effectively 2 past lives. It is not exactly, not necessarily in this case, maybe Rahul's past life only, but not necessarily Sita's past life. Okay, so all these things I pick up and I'll be born as some other new person here. Okay. Now what happens is, you are, when you're being born, you also decided which family you will be born. So some parents, you choose parents. So why did this person choose these parents? Because he feels that there is a very, very strong father and a very weak mother, authoritative father. So I have to listen to the father, then there is very less chance for me to love myself. So basically, whatever life purpose you choose, opposite only will happen on the earth, because that is a motivation factor. You create situations in such a way on the earth that with very great difficulty, you will learn what you need to learn. So opposite only will happen. So you have a very authoritative father and a very weak mother who does not know how to stand by for herself. Now you chose that as you are ideal people. Okay, so the moment you choose the parents, there is a huge lineage coming behind it, which are nothing but ancestors. Now those ancestors also left everything here in this layer, their emotions, their incompletions. Now, not only Sita, Rahul, by virtue of which you chose these 2 parents, as a consequence, you will take up all the ancestors' emotions and everything, which you can call as karma. Okay, so it is like you are going to now complete their incompletions too, being born in this family. So this is where the ancestral healing comes into picture. Now, since you picked it up, you have to finish their karma too. Of course, you have to finish their karma. Okay. So you will start experiencing several things which these ancestors felt. And you will also have to finish Sita's karma. You will also have to finish Rahul's karma. Basically, you got quite a bit of karma in your pocket. But the whole idea why you have to finish off these things is ultimately to learn what is the life plan you decided for yourself. So basically everybody starts abusing you because of Sita's record you picked up. And one fine day you tell yourself, enough is enough. I'm going to call the police. Enough is enough. I am going to now lead the way I want. And one day you'll realize, hell with everybody, I love myself. I take care of myself. I enjoy my life. I earn for myself. I do things which I love to do. I keep myself as highest priority. So then Rahu's incompletion gets completed, Sita's incompletions get completed. The same way, several of your ancestors' incompletions also you can complete. But of course, there is something called free will. Now, if you're working out of the free will, it is only going to create a lot more karma for you, which we don't realize it. And we use that. We may not clear some of the incompletions which we decided before we were born. So when you go back, you will again submit those in this particular layer and you go back. And when you go back to the higher self, there is a checklist done. Did you learn this? Did you learn this? Oh, you forgot to learn this. Instead, you created something more for yourself. Okay, for the next life, you have to again learn that. So this goes on and on and on as a pattern. So today when we are doing the radical healing, we are mainly concentrating on our ancestors, not on Sita and Rahul. That I will leave it to you for your own homework. Okay. So using these R5 statements, whatever is there deep inside our subconscious mind of all these incompletions, we are simply going to remove those by just saying 7 times or 3 times or 4 times the R5 statements of those emotions of our ancestors which we have picked. Okay. Now, how will I know whether this is working? You don't have to know about it. You'll slowly see how your life starts changing in probably in 21 days' time. But at least some few of the ancestors will be so happy that you completed for them. Okay. Now, in different modalities and different understanding and in different ways, higher self can be seen as the 8th chakra. Akashic records, higher self is maybe in the 9th and the above chakras, and the Akashic records and this layer which I'm saying where we submit everything is probably the 8th chakra. In shamanic thing we say it is Virakocha, and so in several things it's all differently portrayed, but it is very much there in every religion, every modalities, in every belief systems, and it's pretty much there everywhere. And in hypnotherapy, it is time and again confirmed that this is what it is. Okay, whether you want to believe it or not, it's all up to you. Whatever suits you, you can believe that. But look at it as karma, as not a suffering. It is a learning. It will only take you to the next level. Okay, so the next life when you have, it can be a clean slate if you finish up all that right now. And by RFing all these things, you don't have to wait until you die to do the retrospection. It will get over now itself. So your path going back to higher self will be much easier and effortless. Okay, so exactly 2:30. If anybody has any question, I'll quickly address or we'll get into the game. Unmute and ask me the questions if you have.
I have a question.
Maybe you raise your hand so that Deepti can monitor. Okay.
A lot of questions. Okay, let's make it quick. Alifia?
Yeah, very quick.
So, Isha, what I wanted to ask was, you said if you release all the karma, you can start your next life on a clean slate.
Mm-hmm.
But if you release all your karma, then doesn't your soul move on? Like, do you have to still take a next life?
Yeah. So what happens, Alifia, many times, let's assume Sita's story, okay? So she needed to stand up for herself and learn the bravery part. Now, it's not just going to happen in one lifetime. Many lifetime, whoever picks up Sita's stuff, they will learn to be brave, more braver. They will submit back and go. Another person will bring it up, more braver feeling. So finally, at some point, this brave factor will become a talent.
Okay.
And when somebody picks it up, they will become a leader because they're very brave and they know how to handle this courage. So those are the things which will become talent life or a gifted life. And then the master life. Ultimately, you have to reach the master life where you don't have to be born, but guide from wherever you are.
Okay.
Yeah, next.
Thank you.
Shweta? Hi, Isha.
Shweta,
I
tell me.
wanted to ask, like when we are born in a family, we take, as you said, that we take the karmas of different people there, or the
Ancestors.
ancestors, residues of ancestors.
Yeah.
So for us, like as I have taken it from my parents' side, so after marriage, my husband's side also affects me.
No, it doesn't. It affects in a parallel way. In the sense, it affects from his emotions. His emotions towards us, towards his ancestors will affect you, but not exactly his ancestor to you.
Got it.
Okay? Yeah.
Vim?
Yeah, hi. Just want to ask you. Remember, you were telling that we'll be picking up and then creating more karmas if you are, even though we are focused on the life plan, right? So how do we thread the line so carefully so that we do not end up accumulating more while we're trying to clear the
So basically what
given-
happens is, I understand what you're saying. See, if you're using free will, trust me, it is a marketing strategy of the creator so that you are stuck to the earth many, many times. Now you undergo with faith that whatever happens in my life is the thing to be happening to me. And you don't need to manifest anything. You just need to flow with your life. And everything what is right for you will come. Everything which is wrong for you won't come. So you don't have to react.
Okay.
So if I'm trying to get to become a doctor, because my parents could not become doctors, I am satisfying my parents' needs. And that is a karma. Free will you do it. Instead, whatever you flow and you take up an entrance test and you don't get in to be a doctor, but you become something else and you become good in that. Some other job will just land on your lap. You take that, the interest also will build up. So flow with that. When you do that, you're naturally not creating any karma. And also, even in spite of all that, let's assume because of our emotions and all this, whatever we picked up in the center, every night before you sleep, think, what was it for me today? Did I make anybody smile? Did I hurt anybody? If I have this feeling that I might be hurting somebody, in your mind, say sorry. And then think how bright the next day is. This is the retrospection doing every day. So you are clarifying, clearing your karma then and there.
As in, what about the bright? Sorry, the next day. Restart no. You were mentioning something about bright the next day. What is it again?
How bright would be the next day for me?
All right. Okay.
How beautiful my next day will be. Think like that. And then you sleep.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
So basically, when you create resistance, that's when the karma forms. That's the rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Ranjana?
Okay. Next, Ranjana.
Isha, does your sibling also form a part of ancestors, a deceased sibling?
It's not so much so, but you have a connection. Basically, it's all the connection or the opening which you have, right?
Yeah.
So you can always, you are much more connected to your sibling than your husband.
Correct.
Okay. So you can always take the advantage of clearing your siblings related incompletions because they are part of your ancestors' lineage.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So next, Namita.
Hi, Isha. How are you? Can you see me?
I'm good. Tell me.
So I want to understand the concept of free will. in context of a situation, as in, let's say, you know, I chose to do something like I chose a spiritual path, for example. But right now, I'm not inclined towards pursuing it anymore, maybe because I've outgrown. You know, if I don't do it, if I don't choose to do it anymore, what would be the implications? Like, I still choose to grow spiritually, but maybe through another path.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. You can do that. Trust me, the more you are clear with your bottom three chakras, which is very, very materialistic world, only then you can grow in spiritual world. Satisfy all your physical needs. Biology, you first become thorough. Then spirituality will become automatically come to you.
So what is this concept of free will? Like, if my free will
Free
tells
will
me
is something like I'm supposed to go on the highway, which is my life plan. But then I find myself eating an ice cream on the by lane. So I think that, okay, I'll go on the by lane and there are potholes, and then my GPS will stop working. And so I just get lost totally. And on the way, I encounter one person. I decide to ask them a way for it. And that person irritates me. I have a fight with that person. And then finally I realize what the hell. And then somehow I'll struggle through. My petrol is getting over. So all kinds of challenges I encounter. And finally I find that ice cream. And then I say, okay, now let me get back to the highway. And somehow I'll come back to the highway. But when I'm going on the highway, in just 1 kilometer away, I find an ice cream shop next to me. Then I'll think that, why did I do all that? That is what is your free will. With free will, you wander off your highway and you create a lot of karma. If you are just a little bit tolerant and flow, that ice cream shop will come automatically. Okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Next, Ritika. So after Divyashree, I'm stopping questions, okay?
Yeah, that's what I've already informed
Yeah.
everybody.
Ritika, wherever you are.
Hi, I didn't hear my name. Sorry. Okay,
Okay.
my question was that, see, we pick up like different records and different, you know, from that area. So can that happen after we are born also, like during?
Yeah. I said above where the HS have written, there's no timeline, no? That's happening right now, right?
Okay.
So there is no linear time. Linear time is here, down. Above, there is no timeline at all. That means to say, you are even being born even now. Even you are doing the life plan even now. So the actions, what you do here can change your life plan.
Okay. Okay. That will
Little
take
bit
some time for me
difficult to
to understand.
understand. You have to
Yeah.
like pick your brain a bit, then it will happen.
Yeah. So like even now we're like constantly picking up records, is it?
In a way, yes. Every action of yours can pick up the records. Let's
Okay.
assume that I have achieved being courageous, brave to whatever I had defined in the life plan. Now I need to have another life plan to be made. Like, let me be, servicing to this society.
Mm.
Okay, so I decide to be a therapist.
Mm.
Now I can pick up a past life who has been extremely greater therapist, a druid, an acupuncturist, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So at what time you picked it up, we can't say that. Maybe, see, we are thinking from the limitations of a human person, right?
Mm.
What if I had already knew about it while I was born and I had picked it up then only? And the first 20 years I was an engineer, software engineer, and then afterwards I became a healer. Now, did I pick it up now or did I pick it up at my birth itself? I don't know about it. So why should I really worry? Logic is what a human being needs. We don't need logic. Let us flow, no?
Okay. And another thing is that like we pick up these things for them to help us, no? Then like why do we get into the rut of again them being unfavorable?
Viruses. So Sita also had different viruses. Which are incompletion. So when you pick it up, that is what comes as a karma. She had fought with her husband. So you will have to
Okay.
now experience how it is to fight like that. That comes as a virus. But with the raised awareness, as you go ahead in your spirituality, you will learn to leave these viruses and take only the brilliance. R5 in a way will help you.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Okay.
Okay, Divya, your chance.
Aisha.
Yeah.
Isha, my question is, I know a family like where the suicide has been like, from the generation, they are like, grandpa has committed suicide, father has committed suicide, and the kid is also committing suicide. It's like I'm seeing it that from the third generation, like, from last 3 generation. So is it can be a karma, or else like, if they want to break it, how can they break that
Of
pattern?
course, they might be having the first generation, which probably they won't even know, who felt like committing suicide. They may not have. That let's assume 7th generation back. They
Okay.
felt like committing suicide, but they did not. Now, this person, if they handle that particular feeling, either using family constellation or using therapies or whatever, that can be stopped. And that will be a great help for the future generation.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Isha.
Thank you.